Okay, so back to this, doing the continuation for this, Revelations mystery, the Antichrist mystery. Eventually, we'll get to looking at the Antichrist himself. Okay, but what we're going to be looking into is we're going to be looking at Revelations 13. A lot of people usually think that the Antichrist is the beast, but he actually is not. Okay. So anyway, when we look at the scholars agree that through analysis that the king of the north and little horn of Daniel 2 and Daniel 7 and 2 Thessalonians 2, the man of perdition, is all about the Antichrist, okay? Also, I'm convinced the seventh king of Revelation 17 is also the Antichrist, king of the north, okay? This is to help to make this as easy as I can make it anyway. Now, when it comes to Revelations 13, remember we have to think of the word given, okay? Anything which is given to the beast is from the physical world. Is given to him by Satan. Remember how Satan tempted Jesus, that he would give Jesus all the kingdoms of the world, kind of thing? Remember how it says that? How Satan had the power to actually do that if Jesus was to bow down and worship him, right? I can't remember which scripture that is, but I will put it in here, in the link if you want. But the reason why is because of the physical kings, that Lucifer, you see, the physical kings worship Satan, you see. Secretly they do that, and I believe they're still doing it to this very day, maybe even governments, that are secretly worshipping him, and that's why Satan, who controls the kings, can give the power over to Jesus if he wanted to. But it's the same with the Antichrist. Because Satan just now is the god of this world, right? The kings of the world that are in adoration and worship Lucifer, that's why he has the power to give the kingdom eventually, or the particular kingdom, to the Antichrist king. Okay, so when we look at the word given in Revelations 13, it's basically anything which is given to the beast is coming from the physical world to the beast. So it says here, and there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue for 42 months, okay? And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven. Now, the reason why he's able to do that is because he's given the physical mouth of the Antichrist, okay? So all we have to do is pay attention to that word there, given, okay? Anytime it says given to the beast, is coming from the physical world. It's Satan giving his kingship, the physical king of the Antichrist, to the beast, Apollyon. So the beast Apollyon is given a physical mouth of the Antichrist to speak through. So he was given a throne and a crown and great authority. So Apollyon uses Antichrist king to speak great things and blasphemies against God. The beast needs a physical king of the Antichrist to work through. Okay, so just remember that he's got a crown, things like this. It's the crown of the Antichrist, basically, the physical Antichrist king, right? And this is one of the reasons why the beast will have power over nations also, because if whatever the Antichrist controls over is what Apollyon controls over also. You need to think like that, remember, because remember he's been possessed by the beast, this physical Antichrist. And it says here, so anyway, here's some examples from the king of the north. In Daniel 7, the little horn is the king of the north, identified by scholars. I considered the horns and beheld. You can read these yourself in Daniel 7. There was, a mouth speaking great things. Daniel 11. And the king will do according to his will, exalt himself, magnify himself above every god, shall speak marvelous things against the God of gods. Now he's speaking things against the God of gods here because he's also been possessed by Apollyon also. So while he is speaking, the physical king of the north is speaking against God of the gods, which is Yahweh, it also means that Apollyon is also speaking marvelous things against the God of gods, okay, just as we know in Revelation 13. And it says here in Revelation 13 verse 5, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. So Apollyon works with Antichrist for a short time, which is 3.5 years, okay. Mathew 24, and it basically here this explains why it talks in this way. For there, this is a situation with Antichrist in Jerusalem. You can read this for yourself. For then shall be a great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, which is Christians, Jews, those days shall be shortened. Okay, this is a 3.5 years, okay? See, the reason why the Antichrist is only going to be around for a short time is because if the Antichrist was allowed to continue for, say, 10 years, then it means that Christianity would be completely wiped out. There'd be no more Christianity, there'd be no more Bibles. It'd be like an Adolf Hitler thing. All the Bibles would all be gone. There'd be no such thing as Christianity anymore, and everybody would just be they'll just have, every single generation will just keep going to hell continually, basically. And so that's why the Antichrist has to be stopped, you see, at a short time. It's to stop Christianity from completely being destroyed from from the world altogether, And then in Daniel 12, and at a time shall the sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination make it desolate. There shall be 1,290 days. It is a short time. Again, you can read this for yourself in Daniel 12. So after, so 3.5 years before Jesus returns, it puts the beast in the lake of fire. Revelations 11, but the court which is without the temple, leave it out, for it is given unto the Gentiles, and the holy city, this is Jerusalem, shall be tread under foot 42 months. So there's our 3.5 years. The Gentiles will work with the Antichrist in Jerusalem for 3.5 years. Hopefully this is making sense to people. Revelation 17, and there are 7 kings, 5 have fallen, and one is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. This is the physical Antichrist. Remember, he works with the beast for a short time, which is the 3.5 years. The beast, remember, is the 8th king. Okay, so you also have to remember that as well. So that but they're working together basically. Revelation 13, and again it was given. Or look at the word given, right? Unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. Again, look at the word given, because he works through the Antichrist. Apollyon has power over the saints and to overcome them. And here's some examples in Daniel 11 with the king of the north. And arms shall stand on his part, and they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength. This is in Jerusalem. And shall take away the daily sacrifice, and they shall place the abomination and maketh desolate. This is the king of the north, and he makes war with the saints. Daniel 7, I beheld, and the same horn, which is symbolic of Antichrist, made war with the saints, and prevailed against them. So also Apollyon is also making war with the saints also. And we've got Revelation 13. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. So again, Apollyon is given the physical king to have power over the nations, tongues, and kindreds. Okay, so look at the word given. It's from Apollyon's story. When it talks about the beast, it's Apollyon it's talking about. The beast of the sea is Apollyon, and later on we're going to get into the beast of the earth. Okay, and I'm gonna explain all of that as well. So basically, and power over the kingdom, which is the kingdom of the Antichrist king. Right, thus he said in the Daniel 7, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and tread it down, and break it in pieces. Whoa, this is the fourth kingdom of where the Antichrist will come from, basically. Okay, so again, Apollyon is actually working with the Antichrist to take over the whole world and to devour it. So he's going to have power over kindreds, tongues, and nations, okay? This parallels with Revelation 13. Daniel 11, and the Antichrist goes into other countries. You can read about this. And a time shall be, the king of the south shall push at him. The king of the north shall come against him like a whirlwind, and blah blah blah, and with many ships, and he shall enter into the countries. Okay, so there's our countries, that's nations, and shall overflow and pass over. He shall enter also into the glorious land, and many countries shall be overthrown. So that will be Israel. That's the area of Israel. But these shall escape out of his hand. So Edom and Moab and chief of the children of Ammon, they escape. He shall stretch forth his hand also upon the countries, and the land of Egypt shall not escape. But he shall have power over the treasures of gold. So you can read all about this. So this is, Apollyon is getting power over the countries in Revelation 13. False prophet is the one who causes the world to worship the beast. And again, if you worship the beast has power over you. Okay? Revelation 13. And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. So again, in Revelation 13, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb, found from the foundation of the world. The people that are not Christians, will become a slave to the beast because they have chosen to worship him. This is why the beast Apollyon has power over the nations, kindreds, and tongues, as the false prophet is responsible for causing the earth to worship the beast. Makes sense? It makes perfect sense to me. Revelation 13. And how does the beast get the world to worship how does the beast get his worship from the world? Well, back to Revelation 13. And deceiveth them, this is the false prophet, that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image of the beast, which had the wound by a sword, and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should be both speak, and cause that many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So there is an image or statue of Apollyon that gets made that can kill people if they do not worship him. This is likely the abomination that maketh desolate in the temple of God. Right. So again, when we're looking at Daniel 12, and they shall take away the daily sacrifice, and the abomination that maketh desolate set up, image of the beast. Mathew 24, abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place. So this is in Jerusalem, right? So this eventually will lead to the world worshipping the beast. Daniel 11, and the king shall do according to his will, and exalt himself above all that is every god. Okay, we're not going to read about that, but when we look further down, it says here, neither shall he regard the God of his fathers, nor the desire of women, nor regard any god, for he shall magnify himself above them all. But in his estate shall he honor the God of forces, and God of whom his fathers knew not. Now, notice here, God of forces. Right, this is a title he's given. Daniel is given this God a title of forces, okay? This is likely, remember Daniel was in Babylon? Well, it would be likely the God of forces would be forces is fortress, which is a fortified city, okay? A protected city. So this would be Marduk, okay? The Babylonian god Marduk, which is also another form of Satan, okay? And also Marduk has a form of a serpent or a type of dragon, which you can actually find as well, right? So this is actually, I would translate this to be Marduk, okay? Because he would have known about that. But then the other god, I'm actually running out of time. Bye for now.